Turn the love up a little bit louder. Rep the king just a little bit prouder. Putting hope on the radio. See why? Gonna let them know it's the inspirational power hour.
Hey, this is Chandra Wise, host of the Inspirational Power Hour radio show, now bringing you the Inspirational Power Hour podcast. The Inspirational Power Hour is a weekly show for anyone who loves gospel music. We celebrate the genre by highlighting the artists that create it. We go behind the music and we talk to songwriters, producers, and the community that loves and supports gospel music. You'll also hear people and stories that will encourage and uplift you. And we're going to bring all of that over to this podcast. Now, on this episode, I'm talking to Stellar Award winner and Grammy Award nominee, pastor and recording artist, Dietrich Haddon. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Dietrich is approaching nearly 30 years in music with his latest release, Time, Truth Is My Energy. Dietrich talks with me about this album in this interview, so let's check it out.
It's the inspirational power hour.
You are listening to the Inspirational Power Hour. Now, let me tell you, listen, we've had a couple technical difficulties, but I'm so glad that my brother called back in so that we can chat about this new music. Guys, listen, I'm super excited to be talking to none other than Dietrich Haddon. How are you, sir?
Chandra, what's going on? How you doing?
Listen, I'm good out here in these quarantine streets. What about you?
I know that's right. We all quarantining. That's what we're doing. Safe and sound.
That's right. So first of all, before we jump into the music, I want to ask you, how are things on your end? How's your family? How are you guys doing?
Family's doing well. Everybody's in good health. Ain't nobody coughing or nothing, so we're all good. My daughter, Denver, was concerned yesterday. She started crying in the car because we were driving through the streets and nobody was in the streets.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to get out and get some fresh air and just get in the car. We're going to be safe in the car. And we went to driving, and my daughter started saying, Daddy, I'm scared. I said, what you scared for? I said, nobody here. I said, listen, God is with us. We got each other, and we're fine. So other than that, I mean, all is well. Mm-hmm.
How's your church? How's your congregation?
Well, they're holding up. Our church is strong. Our church is 4 years old. We actually were celebrating 4 years of ministry this month. But everybody's, they're holding up. Everybody's well. Nobody's caught the case of corona. And we're adjusting to having service online, and I know every pastor in every church all over the world is adjusting to that. But we had a powerful service on Sunday right here in my living room. And people were blessed. They were telling me it was like we were at church. We couldn't tell the difference other than the fact we were sitting at home. And so that's a beautiful thing. So, and the people gave, too. The church is still being sustained, So that's a beautiful thing.
Well, awesome. We are definitely continuing to pray for everybody across not just our nation, but the world being impacted right now. So
let me tell you what happened. They shut down all the live feeds of the services on Facebook yesterday. Did you hear about that?
I did. I saw that. Now, this is what I also saw. A lot of people were saying that it was only hidden on their apps, like on your phones and things like that, but it was still available on the desktop versions of the platform.
Well, at first we were concerned, thinking that, hey, this is an attack against the church, and they shutting down if they shut down our Facebook lives and all this stuff, what we gonna do?
Exactly.
We went into a panic, but no, they got it right back up. Now, honestly, I think it's because they heard from the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't mess with us now. In the market, the beast is going on around here.
Exactly. This is not the time to be playing. I mean,
right. Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, Dietrich. So listen, let's jump into this new music. I'm always a fan, and I always love when we get new music from you. You got to keep giving it to us because you're such a vital voice in gospel music. And you can quote me on that, Dietrich.
Awesome.
But listen, truth is my everything. Tell us about this project.
Well, truth is my energy. First of all, I'm celebrating the years I put in. Sometimes you got to stop and appreciate what God has already done before you ask Him for more. And so it's my celebration season, from the past, the present, and where God has taken me. So I'm celebrating my time in the business, my time in ministry, my time of giving, of sacrificing, and that's what that is. But I'm also telling people, the very thing that's given me longevity is me staying true to my calling, true to my voice, true to my gift, and the anointing on my life. And when I stay true to that, I look up, it's almost 30 years later, of me singing the songs the way God gave it to me, not compromising that, staying true to who I am. And that truth is my energy. So I would tell people also, just walking in your truth, being who God has called you to be, walking in the truth, that's Jesus Christ, will keep you creative, keep you energized, keep you innovative, and give you the gift of longevity. Yep, so that's what time means.
Truth is my energy. All right. So listen, you said almost 30 years, Dietrich?
Almost, yep, right there. We're right around there.
Wow. So listen, of course, I follow your brother online. He made a post a few months ago, I think.
With his crazy self.
He said he posted one of your clips, and he said, "This boy can just sing. I love the fact that he's different. He's been this way since we were kids. My bro is pretty dope with it." What was a young Dietrich Haddon like? I gotta ask that.
Crazier. An inventor when it comes to music. Me and Gerald, we had this little 2-track thing my dad bought us, and my dad had his old Fender Rhodes keyboard that Gerald destroyed. I might add, he destroyed it and got a whooping for it. but we were just, it was just musical freedom for us. It was just. Just trying to figure out our gifts and who we are individually, and found out that Gerald was very, very, very gifted in playing instruments and playing the keyboard. I mean, we both started out having keyboard lessons, but Gerald excelled in it. Something about his ear caught on quicker than I could catch on. My fingers just wouldn't match up with what I was hearing in my head.
Wow.
I was hearing too much in my head that I couldn't translate it to my fingers. But I could play the keyboard, but not as excellent as my brother. But then we realized, okay, I'm good with standing in front of people and leading people and singing on the mic. One day me and Joe were singing together, and Joe was more reserved than me, and I started walking the floor and singing and hollering at the church, and the church went crazy. And I looked up, Joe was left back there behind on the platform, and I'm down in the middle of the aisle. So I think we figured out, okay, what our gifts were, and we started to develop those, and that's how it was when we were younger.
Wow. So shout out to bro, shout out to Gerald, definitely a talented musician himself. So let me ask you, as we go back to this project, Truth is My Energy, what makes this Dietrich Haddon project stand out? What's different about this one after almost 30 years?
It's the best album I've ever created. I say that every year, don't I?
Yeah, but you got to. I think you have to,
But I tried my best to do my best, and that's what I do. At the end of the day, I know I gave my heart and I gave my all on a project. I don't believe in shortchanging anybody when it comes to music. So, I mean, the quality is there, sonically, when you put it in your car and play it, whatever, you're going to hear the beats, you're going to hear the rhythms, you're going to hear the nuances of the music. I'm very a stickler on that. You're going to hear the vocal harmonies that you love that I do, that Detroit sound mixed with my little, all of that R&B, all of that. You're going to hear all of it, and I just made sure I gave my best, and I think because of the time. Oh, this one I want to say, Chandra. I think what makes this project better than most is because it's very prophetic. Like, if you listen to every song, you'll be like, he's right now on the pulse of what we're dealing with right now. Even like Open Door Season, I said, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. I declare ain't nothing held up. It's open door season over my life. It's a season of open doors. We never knew that we would be locked up in our houses trying to figure out when we can get out. And people are playing those songs, this song, just to get encouragement to know this doors are going to open soon, And we've been dealing with fear, anxiety. When they play the song, they're just being elevated and lifted. I mean, I can go from song to song to song, and you will see how prophetic, how right on target this music is. And the crazy thing, watch this. I finished the album a year ago.
Wow.
Yes, that record was done. This record's been done in a year. Gina told me, she said, wait for this record because it's too ahead of its time. She told me that. I'll never forget. You want to put this out now, and right now people are not, they won't get it right now. But I tell you, if you give it just a little time, we're going to hold it for a minute. I'll tell you when to go. And I promise you that we're going to put out Open Door Season now first. And then now the record is out right now, Time. If you listen to all those, there's a song on there called Every Time. God, when I call you, you always come through. You do it every time. And when I need a breakthrough, you do it every time. You're always there to break my fall. You do it every time. You give me mercy I don't even deserve at all. You do it every time. When you hear those songs, you're going to be like, oh, my God, God is me. Yep.
Wow. And that speaks to how incredibly important it is, Dietrich, to make sure that your team also carries the vision that you do for not just every album, but just the vision for your ministry and for your calling, because they're able to hear and help kind of align those things together.
You are so correct. You need a team, and you need a team that's truly in sync with what God is saying for you, even when you don't realize what God is saying. Because I fought Gina for about a good month saying, I want to put it out now. These songs need to be out now. The anointing is on them. I know people are going to be blessed. I got the whole team together to tell them we're going to do this. And they fought me. They said, just please, teacher, give us some time, please. I said, let me go back and pray. Let me just, then the last time I said, I'm going to let it alone. We're going to do it because I want you all to be feel good about the timing for this record. And she said something that was very significant. She said, we got to give time.
Yeah.
That's all right. Thing when she said that.
Wow. Okay. So you can argue with that. When she threw that at you, you had to just say, okay, let me go back and pray about this again. Okay.
Let me leave it alone. Because when sometimes when things are kicking back at you, that's God. See, sometimes rejection is direction.
Absolutely.
Sometimes God is trying to give you his will. It reminded me of the prophet Balaam when he was on his way trying to go and curse God's people, right? Because this king was trying to bribe him with money to curse the children of Israel. And God told him, don't you go and do that. Don't you curse whom I blessed. And the man got up and started heading that way anyway. But the donkey that he was riding on said, I ain't going that way.
Yeah.
And ran him into a wall and almost broke his foot. And he hit the donkey and said, you almost broke my foot. And he said, listen, if you just pay attention, you will see that there's an angel on the road you trying to send me down. And that angel about to tear you up. It took a donkey to speak to him for him to realize what God was saying. You would think that the prophet would know what God was saying.
Wow.
But God had to use, sometimes, that lets you know, sometimes we're not always on target as people of God. You can have this title, you can have this name, you can have all these people following you, but that does not signify that you're on target with God's will. Because none of us knew that we all would be at home at the beginning of this year, did we?
Not at all.
Prophesied.
Not at all. Listen. Not a one.
We preaching all these messages, sweating and everything and hollering, but ain't nobody said in the month of March, doors will be closed. Churches will be closed all over the world. Nobody will be able to buy, sell, trade, do business. Nothing will be going. And that's a real prophet.
Yeah, absolutely. My God, Dietrich, you always preach. Nah, I'm just telling you. You always preach it to me. All right. So listen, a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you too long, but okay. Who still inspires Dietrich Haddon today?
Oh, you. Honestly, anybody that's great at what they do, whether it's you doing what you're doing to, connecting with your audience all over the world, and whether it's LeBron James dunking the ball at year 17, at age 35, anybody that have committed to their gift and decided I'm going to maximize and be the best at it. When I see people doing that, it does something in me and make me want to go somewhere and write a song or write a sermon, go study something, or go rehearse, get in the room and dance and figure out my live performance. It just motivates me,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So over the last 12 months, what has been your most impactful musical moment? Has there been a moment that's really stood out that you can remember over the last 12 months, whether it was from another artist or from a moment of inspiration, something that hit you?
From the last 12 months, there's been a lot going on. Well, I was able to finish my film, Blessed and Cursed.
That's right.
Yes, it's going to be a TV show now. So as soon as all this Corona stuff lighten up, we'll be able to announce what network and all those things. I'm excited about it. But
Awesome.
that's big, though. That was big for me. When I finished it, I was like, whew, God, we did it. But when I went to Cameroon, Africa, there was something about being there and experiencing that and just being on those grounds and being in the motherland and seeing those thousands and thousands of people in that stadium singing all my songs, whether it be a billion people, whether it be even Love Him Like I Do. I mean, anywhere I went with my music, because I can go to different places. I can go from Guerrilla Faith to Open Door Season to Sinner's Prayer to Well Done.
Yeah.
Those people went with me. You hear me? They made me feel like I was Michael Jackson.
Awesome.
I said every gospel artist needs to have this kind of feeling all the time. If we made our artists feel this way in America, no telling what we would get out of these gifted people.
Yes.
When you feel appreciated, it does something. It does something in a relationship, even in a relationship, just with your husband or your wife. It's just when you feel appreciated, it does something to you. It makes you say, I got to be exactly what they're saying that I am. I'm going to push myself to be that, And I think that's the key to get more out of gospel artists and gospel music is us really going back to appreciating the gifts, supporting them, going to the concerts, listening to the music, following, just really being a part of it, the movement,
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Dietrich, we're about to wrap up. We're definitely going to take a listen to Open Door Season. And I would love it if you would make sure that everybody has all your info so they can keep up with you. So can you go ahead and share that with everyone?
I need everybody to go to iTunes or wherever you get your music. Go now and download Dietrich Haddon Time. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. Those songs on there are prophetic, and they will lift you and keep you strengthened during this tough season that we're all in. Trust me. You can hit me up on D Hattie on IG, on Instagram. There's a blue check there. On Facebook, there's a blue check. There's a blue check on Twitter. If there's no blue check, it's not me. It's some imposter, especially if they're asking you for money. Just know it's not me. It's not Dietrich. All right? But God bless y'all. I love you. Thank you, Chandra.
Thanks for tuning in to the Inspirational Power Hour podcast. This has been your host, Chandra Wise, and I want to say a very special thank you to our guest this week, Dietrich Haddon. Make sure to follow me online on Instagram and Twitter at Chandra Wise, ChandraWise, and on Facebook, like the Inspirational Power Hour fan page. All right, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.
It's the Inspirational